Hey, this is Steve Moreland, and we're on the podcast here on Success Publishing, where we feature newly published authors, and we talk to them about what their life passion, what their mission is, why they decided to go out here and become an author, and what was that bigger why behind it. And so today I am interviewing an amazing lady by the name of Yeliz, and I'm going to let Yeliz introduce herself, tell us a little bit about where she is, kind of a little background on where she's come from and how she got here. So Yeliz, take it away.
Hello, Steve. Firstly, I'd like to say a big thank you to Matt Morris for giving us this awesome chance of becoming an author with him. And thank you to yourself as well for, working along in the backstage with me and always being, supportive throughout the whole journey. And the journey has been amazing. So I'm Yeliz Nuray. I am in London, but I am a Turkish Cypriot background. I have two lovely children, and I'm here today to talk about my book, which I have here.
Yeah,
I'm so
absolutely.
excited. I am just so, just feeling it and having it here. It just still feels surreal. I can't believe that I have this book in my hand and I did this. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I can see the smile there. The smile is authentic. Obviously the book is new. What did you feel? You went through the process of being published, but then when you opened it and you touched it for the first time, what was that about?
I had mixed emotions. It really didn't kick in when I had the first email saying that my book's published until I actually had it delivered from Amazon, and I was like, wow, it is real. Yes. And it's here, and it just feels so surreal. Like I said, it's unbelievable, and it made me feel proud about myself as well, that I actually achieved something like this, and I could leave it, be a legend like for years and years, even past me. My children are like, oh, Mum, you're famous now.
Yeah. Well, that is the whole idea. Becoming a legacy is incredible, isn't it?
It is. And I was in tears when I had the book in my hands. My eyes are like watering, and I just couldn't believe it. But yeah, it's done, and I'm proud of this. And thank you to everyone that helped. Well, this journey.
You have an amazing story, and I want to get into that and kind of what we would call unbox the story. You're in London. Obviously, we have lockdown going on right now, but you got your book, and so you've been able to go into, the actual launch phases and getting ready. I know we've had some conversations on that, so I know you're excited about that. So let's really kind of get into what I think is probably the most important question is, what is your message? There's always a message that's underneath the story. But the message is what really, to me, frames your passion. So what is your message that you wrote about in your story?
My message really is that, no matter how many times we fall, the comeback is always stronger than the drop. So, and like I discussed in my book as well, nothing is the end of any story. It's just an end of a chapter, and that's exactly what happened with mine. It wasn't the end of life, which felt like that at the time. It was just end of chapter for me, and a beginning of another new journey, which kept me, and I'm here today. Sure. Kept me going.
So there is a setback, and there are what would you call it, moments in our life that, if we call them trials and tribulations, that those words feel too small. So you reached a point in your life, and it was a big event. Mm-hmm. And it took you a while to get through that, and your realization was reframing the event as just the end of a chapter, not the end of the story.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about that story there. And what I'm looking for is, how did you work through the difficulty and the struggle that allowed you to get to where you are today, with your positive attitude, with your passion and desire to share your story to help the world?
My story to this day, brings tears to my eyes, but I'm gonna, bring it out. Obviously, like every woman, you long for to become a parent, and after obviously trying and then becoming pregnant, I had lost something we really dearly was waiting for. So that was a big drop point for me. And
Sure.
I was obviously a successful businesswoman at the time, running a very busy beauty and hair salon with employees that I had to look after.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really, really hard, but I had to still continue at my best. For a very short time, I did continue that, but I just couldn't go any long, continue to work as I did before, because what happened was a big tragic for me as well. Probably being a young mum, because I was like 23,
Sure.
really young. I just couldn't handle having a busy salon and at the mental state that I was. But
Sure.
having support from my family was my power, really. The strength that they just was there throughout the whole time, and helped me. Friends as well, the same. And I think we all need that. We all need that support. If we was alone, I don't think I would have been here now and at that mental state that I was, because you just think that you start blaming yourself when something negative happens. We're always the first person to blame is yourself. You start blaming yourself. Oh, what if I did this? But what if I did that?
Right.
But it's not like that. In reality, things happen, and sometimes they're meant to happen to make you who you are today. And that is exactly what happened to me.
So going through a tragic event, the just the unexpectedness of it, and then the recovery pattern of trying to not go back to who you used to be, because you can't, can you?
You just can't.
You
You
can't.
just can't. You
Right.
can't.
So you move forward, and that process, though, a lot of the people that are going to read your book, a lot of the individuals that are going to watch your video or listen to the podcast, they're going to ask, okay, you had an event. I'm in an event like that, Yeliz. I'm still there. You have gotten past it, and you have been able to create a story and a perspective where you see it as not the end of the book, but only a chapter, and there's much more of a journey there. So tell us, how did you move through that emotional event? How did you take care of yourself, and how did you get to be who you have become?
I started doing, sports more, because I found that doing something that would, I don't know, make me tired so I can sleep at night.
Sure.
I could start to eat a little bit, because when you're at that mental state, everything falls apart. Your health, eating habits, sleeping habits, it all falls apart. And I thought sport would enable me, obviously, to get up early, because I've got to do my run in the morning, and then make me hungry because I've just sweated it all out. So sport was my main focus, and my medication at the time. I found it healed me, having to wake up. And I had a neighbor at the time. Right. She was a runner. She was going to be a runner for the marathon. So that encouraged me, because she was like, come out, Yeliz, come out running with me. And I think she knew my situation as well. And she kind of encouraged me every morning, even if I didn't want to wake up. She'd be knocking on the door, and I didn't want to let her down because I kind of motivated her as well, because she was going to do the marathon, and she helped me and I helped her. Wow. So, so definitely I found something to heal myself, and it was running in the mornings and, just doing workouts when I could. And that really healed me. Listening to, after a while, when I started getting better as well, listening to motivational you know, I listen to Will Smith a lot with his little motivational videos in the morning. It really gave me that upbeat of, okay, I've got to get better. I've got to get better.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
So you did two things. First of all, you took action, and you took action both in the physical realm, and you did it also in the mental, or I would call the emotional realm. And I've listened to some of Will Smith's talks, and obviously the guy's, he's incredible. Yeah. And so here's the thing, but that his messages at that particular time resonated with you. So what you did is you went and found that individual that was going to spark and inspire and motivate you back to an action. Because when we have these devastating, tragic events in our life, we don't want to do anything. We want to just shut down, don't we?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you did an incredible thing by finding two different paths that were actually both aimed in the same way, but we're not just physical beings and we're not just mental beings. And if you do one and not the other, then they kind of end up kind of conflicting. Well, you put them in the same direction. So you did it on a early morning schedule. You got out there, Tony Robbins uses a term, he says, motion creates emotion, right?
Exactly.
And you needed good positive emotions. So you got out there. You also contributed because you were helping a neighbor prepare for something that they had to go through, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're putting yourself back out there. You're giving that activity. You're creating a daily discipline. And then if you want to put the icing on the cake in the morning, you went and did the physical. And then when you came back, you took the time. Some people call it meditation. Some people call it me time. But you sit down and you found that other individual that you felt was speaking to you.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, I found, because I was angry as well. I don't know why I was angry, but I was just angry at life. And I found that, you know, when I did that sport, it's like almost just like boxers, really. They need to get it out of them. Right. I found that running really helped heal me. I was getting that anger out, you know, every time I sweated and every time I ran another mile, it just, yeah, it worked. It worked for me.
So you come up with a healthy level of therapy, and this worked for you and helped you get through an extremely trying event. And now you are moving in a perspective that you see that as a time in your life that has given you insight that you can now help other people with. So tell us about that passion.
Oh gosh, so I've always been a very giving person. It's probably just, you know, from my mum, really, inherited through her, because she's a very giving person. So I've wanted to help others in my journey of what I do, which I love, is travel. Mm-hmm. And so I've become a travel agent, and I was helping other women like me that wanted to, and men, really. I've got men in my team that wanted to become travel agents that can work from home. So obviously, and that resonates with a lot of people, because we, especially now with COVID, we need to work from home. Sure. So my organization really it just got bigger and bigger, and I am where I am now. I started also through that, you know, being, like I said, I like, you know, being healthy as well, and well-being. So I am in that industry as well. I look after children. So I've got other children I look after other than my children. Sure. I open up my home for them. I, you know, go with, I help charities, children that don't have, you know, orphans that don't have parents. So I do quite a lot. I'm involved with quite a lot, but it just sums me up. It's who I am, and I just thrive on doing something I love, and I really do, and I love it all. You know, I don't like just keeping to one thing in particular, because life would be boring for me if that was the case. I'd like to have, you know, split little things that I love doing, and sure. I've also, obviously, I am banked on becoming an air hostess. after I had to shut down my salon, and after going through that tragedy and all those down points in my life, the first thing that I found was getting into the travel industry, becoming an air hostess. Really was an exciting time for me. And it just made me feel, it gave me that sense of belonging again, being able to work and getting out as well and seeing other cultures and different countries. And now I am my own boss again, which I really love.
Awesome.
And I've always missed, you know, having my salon and everything, but I knew I couldn't go back to doing that now. I've got the children. So definitely what I'm doing now just is exactly what I needed, to be at home, be with the children, be with the people I love, but also be a boss.
Absolutely. So you have created and crafted a destiny that is what all people are trying to do. And you have taken those calculated risk, following your dreams, taking one step in front of the other. And now you have created a mountaintop experience that where you're at, and you've become published, and you're working with so many people, and you give to so many people, and you take care of so many children. Amazing. Okay. So you're definitely mountaintop experience of your life right now. So I have to ask, and I know this is the next question that everyone's wanting to know, where are you going next?
Oh gosh, I am not a planner.
Okay.
I don't plan anything. I just take it as it comes. So, you know, one thing I do know, I don't miss an opportunity. So if I see an opportunity, then Yeliz, Nuray is there.
Sure. Gotcha. So you're kind of like that explorer that is headed out in uncharted waters, that gives you that feeling of exuberation and excitement, anticipation. And I can see, because of the smile on your face, happiness.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely. Wow. So we're going to have to redo another video, or let's go record another video down the road, because I'm just excited to see where you're going to chart, where your uncharted path is going to lead you down the road. And you know, you feel, because the way that you present yourself, your demeanor is just a feeling of calm. I feel your reservation. I feel your happiness. And I also feel this adventurous spirit inside of you, all combined. And it's really outstanding.
Oh, thank you, Steve. And you know, probably about 6 years ago, if they said to me, get on a live like this, or even lead a team, I'll be like, no, no, no. But it's just amazing how much someone can actually change. The confidence in a person can change. And you know, I'm here. I'm live.
Yeah. You know, I Tony Robbins has made a lot of difference in my life. So I go back 30 some odd years, and I go, wait a minute, did I really just say 30 years? Is this blonde hair? No, this is gray hair now. So I go back 30 years, and I remember one of the things that I had learned from Tony back in my early 20s, as I remember him saying, is that people overestimate what they can do in a year, but they underestimate what they can do in a decade. And
very true.
Here you are making that confirmation that, you know, like you said, 6 years ago, you would have said, no way. If we go back a decade or more, or
even writing a book just because I was going to be on the front cover, I'll be like, no, thank you.
And here you are, and now you've created this legacy. Your children are looking, going, oh my gosh, mom, you're setting the example by leading by example. So, you know, the sky's the limit for them, because they're like, wow, if mom can do this.
I've already got my daughter saying, I want to write a book now. Yeah.
Amazing. So what is the last question? I know you've got other things to do. You're busy. I want to ask the last question. What is the most unexpected wow or aha that you have had as you become published and other people have found out about it? What's the one thing that just kind of took you back?
Gosh, the first live I did about my book was probably the best interaction I ever had on social media, and my inbox just hasn't stopped since. They're like, you know, oh, you've become an author, and how, you know, when did this happen? You like, kind of thing. And I'm like, wow, it just proves. And also in my business now, I've got people that come in and, you know, saying interested in what I do, but then they're also ghosting me and then coming back and saying, oh, I've just noticed you're an author, and that's great, and they want to know more and they want to speak to you rather than me kind of chasing them. It's the other way around now, and that's only happened within a week or so. So it is amazing, the big change when you do something like this. So yes, thank you.
Awesome. Well, you did great on the cover. It looks awesome, and I'm just excited to have had time with you. Thank you for sharing, give us a little insight, and gosh, we wish you all the success and more to come, huh?
Yes, definitely. Awesome. It's very addictive. Very addictive.
Well, yeah, that's a cool thing, because not only being able to leave a legacy, but being able to impact people's lives and help them overcome what has gotten them set back or feeling lost and no one understands me. And then you can step out here and go, I think I've been there where you're at right now, and I think I have something that might help.
Definitely.
Awesome.
Definitely. Awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.